how about they do away with a lot of the 5 second, 10 second stop go penalties and introduce a long lap penalty like MotoGP? What do we think?
I think that's
Can you
if
just summarise what a long lap penalty is?
So for
Right.
example,
Right.
if for example, it would be put in on the outside of an inconvenient corner. So, for
Oh, it's like a
example,
joker. It's like a joker
yeah,
lap.
yeah. So
yeah, but
Luffield, for example, at Silverstone, there would be an extra lane round the outside that they have to take, which would cost them X amount of seconds. What, like 4 seconds, taking a really wide line out there or something? And instead, like, say there were speeding penalties, actually, they get hammered for them, don't they? Which, because it's a real safety thing. But
hmm.
let me say crossing the white line coming out of the pits, instead of a 5 second hold in the pits, you get a long lap penalty, or
Or
in,
two.
or two, yeah, because
Yeah,
in MotoGP they stack them.
you can stack them.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So instead of yeah, well, whatever. I'm trying to think of something that they give penalties for. I don't want to bring up Max and Lewis again, but maybe they give 4 long lap penalties. I don't know, but they instead of
I think for
these.
small contact, some of the ones where, yeah,
They're
I
pushing
guess
out
some of the
wide.
ones.
They're pushing out
Yeah,
wide at Austria. That
yeah,
that
exactly.
stuff. Instead of that silliness, you've got a long lap penalty.
Yeah,
Just
because
done.
then I think mentally for the driver, if they know they've got a penalty coming, either if it's post race or during the race, I think it can add to the aggression and
Hmm.
all the sorts of problems that you get, like with people throwing it down the inside and all. I think if a driver knows, right, I've got to serve a joker or a long lap penalty in the next 10 laps, I've got to do 2 of them or whatever, then they can at least think, right, get your head down, get them out the way, and you're still on track. You've not lost any of your rhythm by going into the pits and doing all that stuff and getting all frustrated and watching cars fly past you and all the rest of it. But it also gives other people on the track, the chance, like if they know that, all right, look, he's got to serve 2 long laps, so keep an eye out for it, because we don't know when he's going to serve them. It kind of makes it more exciting for everybody to watch. When is he going to have to, pull to the left and
Yeah,
do that long round the outside and
and
stuff?
I can't remember exactly what it was for. Well, for example, I know what they do in MotoGP is I believe they've got like what do they call them, loops or transponders, whatever, for track limits on the bikes, and it's I think they call it a no fault system. You run wide, you get a warning. You run wide again, or cut again. Long lap penalty, done. That's 2, done.
They give a
And you
black
know
and white,
how
don't they? After you get 3 strikes, don't you, in F1?
yeah. So, like, but again, like Austria, or where track limits are always a thing, or Circuit of the Americas from memory, it's a thing there. Um, literal, if you do it twice, you've got a long lap penalty. Whatever. Someone's suggesting there a power loss penalty, and I bet they could probably do that with a hybrid system,
No,
Chino.
it's
But
too Formula E for that. Too much Formula E.
two Formula, I'm on board actually with what you're saying there. I get it though; it could work, but isn't that what they're kind of going to do in British touring cars instead of ballast? Aren't they going to have a power
Yeah, but that would be kind of
disparity?
like a preloaded. I think I don't think they can change it during a race or anything. So I think
Right,
like instead of ballast, it would be like a
down an amount
preloaded.
of kilowatt hours or whatever.
Oh yeah, and take it down a couple of notches from the battery or the boost or whatever they can more accurately kind of change on the cars. I think, but it's good the way it's going actually with this. I mean, I think the problem is with F1 is they seem to be a little bit inconsistent with their punishments and who does. And you don't get 2 incidents the same. You rarely get 2 incidents the same. I get that,
Hmm.
but they've got to actually draw a line and say, look, if you do that, if you, for instance, what Lewis did at Silverstone, if you are going to throw the car up the inside like that and you get it wrong and make contact, whether it's the guy cutting you up in front or whatever, this is going to happen to you, and that is going to be your penalty, and that is that. Because
Yeah.
then you'll know, they know in their head what the risk is.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Lewis can take it. If Lewis knows that's a 10-second penalty, he's going to do it every day because
Yeah.
he knows that if a 10-second penalty, he can go and then smash
On a
the grid
Monza,
apart.
he's making that back, no problem.
Exactly. So maybe they should make that a little bit more harsh in their mind's eye, so they know, that is your punishment if you do cause a collision where the other car cannot recover, this is your punishment.